Hi, if you don't know me already, my name is Kaylee. I'm a certified nutritionist and gut health specialist, and I love helping people to heal their chronic gut issues at the root using the principles of ancestral nutrition as well as some other holistic health principles. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what to eat when you have diarrhea to normalize your stools. So what I'm going to be sharing in this video is what helped my client Derek to overcome 3 years of diarrhea. He used to have 3 to 4 bowel movements with urgency in about a 4-hour window. And in 2 months of working together, he was completely diarrhea free and has had normal stools ever since. And that's been about a year now, so he's doing great with this. My client Darian overcame 4 years of diarrhea, and that happened in about 3 months. So now she has normal stools, no more diarrhea. My client Will overcame his diarrhea. He used to get chronic urgent diarrhea about 2 to 3 times a day. And 2 months after working together, he was off his anti-diarrhea medication that was helping him get through his work. And 1 month after that, so 3 months in, he had completely normal stools, no more urgency, no more loose stools, everything was completely normal. So that's just a few of my clients who've had diarrhea and their short little story about how they overcame it. There has been a lot more. So I'm going to be sharing what I found to work really, really well for helping people to heal their chronic diarrhea. So I'm going to talk about generally what you should eat, generally what you should avoid, and then 3 foods that really help you to quickly reverse diarrhea and why they work so well. So generally what you should eat would be a nose to tail animal foods. So that's going to be meat, bone broth, organ meats, eggs, dairy if tolerated well, different cuts of meat, just a whole variety of those will provide a lot of nutrients, and they will be very, very gut friendly. They won't aggravate your colon, they won't aggravate or cause any more diarrhea as long as you're, being sensible and getting them from a good source. So dairy is another thing that you can incorporate if you can tolerate it. About, probably less than half of my clients, but maybe like 40% or so, don't tolerate dairy until they've healed their gut. But the other 60-ish%, I'd say roughly, tolerate dairy just fine. So, you kind of have to experiment a little to figure out what works for you. If you're a little unsure if you actually are lactose intolerant or not, I do have a video that goes over that, and I'll link that up above if you are interested in checking that out. You also can eat lots of cooked veggies are going to be great. You do want to avoid raw veggies. You don't want to go too overboard here, but cooked veggies in general are going to be another good part of your diet. Fruit is awesome, so lots of fruit is really great. And yeah, that's pretty much what you're gonna want to base your diet around. If you have some other foods here and there, that's fine. If you have a little bit of properly prepared nuts, seeds, legumes, and grains, that can be okay. But in general, you want to base it around these animal foods and fruit and some cooked veggies. So then what you want to avoid is going to be processed foods, seed oils, alcohol, gluten, grains, seeds, legumes, nuts, especially if they're not prepared properly. If you're further along in your gut healing diet, you might be able to get away with more of those. You do want to soak, sprout, or ferment them, or if it's nuts, toast them prior to eating, and you do want to keep your consumption of those foods a little bit on the lower end because they can be really hard on your gut due to their high anti-nutrient content. I will say too, cutting out gluten really, really helped Will with his diarrhea, so it can be really beneficial here. You want to avoid too much fiber, and then just any foods that trigger your diarrhea. So if you've noticed anything, I had a client in the past that used to get diarrhea every time she ate eggs. Switching to soy-free eggs did help with that, and then also just the other things like healing her gut, fixing her diet helped a lot too. So if there's anything that you notice you consistently get diarrhea after, you can go ahead and cut that out for now. Don't get too crazy and overanalyzing with this. You don't have to pinpoint a giant list of foods. It's really just if you notice something, it's every time you're getting diarrhea from that food, that's something you want to cut out. I want to go back to, I said too much fiber too. A very, very common root cause for diarrhea is going to be gut dysbiosis when your microbiome is off. So if your microbiome it has an overgrowth of pathogenic microbes when your undigested food and fiber come into your intestine. What happens is the pathogenic microbes, when they're digesting these things, the fiber and undigested food, they produce a lot of gas, and this gas can either draw fluid to your colon or away from it. So a lot of times when people have diarrhea, there's actually a gut microbiome imbalance where microbes are producing gas that is drawing a lot of fluid towards the colon. Hence, you're getting loose, watery stools that are moving through really quickly. So it's really important that you don't overdo the fiber if this is the case, because more fiber means more food for those pathogenic microbes, which means more gas and more diarrhea. So you really want to fix that at the root. You don't have to get rid of fiber completely at all, but you don't want to be going hog wild on it right now. So that brings me to the 3 foods that really, really help you with your diarrhea. Now, to piggyback off the last idea, the number 1 is fermented foods. So fermented foods are going to help reverse that gut dysbiosis and reverse one of the main root causes of diarrhea. So you want to be consuming about a 1/4 cup to a cup of fermented foods every single day. So that can be yogurt, that can be kefir, that can be fermented veggies, that can be sauerkraut, kimchi, anything like that. If you make it homemade, those tend to be better and stronger in the good microbes, but you can find some good ones in the store as well, so it's up to you. But yeah, if you want to learn more about reversing gut dysbiosis too, there is more that goes into it than just eating fermented food, so I will link a video I have up above here so you can check it out if you want. So the second food is going to be applesauce or stewed apples with cinnamon. Apples are just notorious for helping to regulate your bowel movements. They are good if you have diarrhea. They're good if you have constipation. Something in apples is just really, really good here. So if you want to make stewed apples, there's a variety of ways you can cook up your apples. You can just heat some fat in a pan, dice them up, and cook them in there. And you want to add a little cinnamon. Cinnamon is nice because if your diarrhea is partially caused by bacteria, it has some nice antibacterial properties that can help balance. It's going to be a mild effect, but it's still going to be nice, and it tastes good with the apple. So you can do that, or you can do warm applesauce as well. Then the third one is going to be bone broth. So bone broth just promotes healing of your entire digestive system. It's so great. It regulates fluid balance really well too. Protein also helps regulate fluid balance, so make sure you're getting enough protein. Bone broth is super rich in protein though, so that is another component of why it's so great for this. So it can help you to have the correct amount of water in your colon instead of too much like you often get in diarrhea. So it's really, really great to be drinking bone broth regularly. So I would recommend eating probably more than a 1/4 cup if you have hardcore diarrhea right now, a 1/2 cup to a cup of fermented foods every single day. I would have applesauce or stewed apples every day, and then I would have a mug, like a 16-ounce mug of bone broth every single day, and then follow those other dietary tips, and you will see some serious progress with your diarrhea, and your stools will start to get solid and more normal. So that is great. And if you want more help with this, I'd be happy to help you with this more. This is one aspect of healing diarrhea, but it's not all about your diet. There are other issues like that gut dysbiosis I was talking about. You really want a very, very healthy gut and digestive system, and that's going to help make everything work better. And when the upper parts of your digestive tract are working properly, the very last part, your colon, will work so much better, because when you have any issue in your digestive system at all, it's going to pass the burden on to the next phase. So if you have weak stomach acid, and then you have leaky gut, and then you have gut dysbiosis, by the time you get to your colon, it's dealing with a whole host of problems from all the parts before it not working properly. So if you want that more detailed, personalized help in overcoming your diarrhea or other chronic gut issues, I would love to help you with that. I have a program called Ancestral Gut Healing where I work with you personally to help you identify the root causes of your gut issues and map out a strategy to heal them as quickly as possible. Many of my clients heal in as little as 3 months, so it really brings you a lot of great results quickly. So if you want to learn more about how I can help you to heal your gut issues, I will leave a link down below where you can book a call with me. This is a free call just to learn more about what I offer, and for me to learn more about you. So you can tell me what you're going through, what your goals are, what you've tried, what you're struggling with, and then I can help you to pinpoint why you haven't been able to heal yet, what those missing pieces are, and how I can help you to heal with my program. And then you can decide if you want to join or not. So if you're interested in that, be sure to book a call down below. I would love to talk with you. And if you want to learn more about some other aspects that I touched on in this video, you can check out this video that I have on gut dysbiosis and how to heal that at the root. That is very helpful for diarrhea, so I'll link that right over there. And then I also have another video on my top 9 tips to improve your digestion naturally, and that's also going to be really helpful for diarrhea. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.